We got the man here today, JUSJRDN. He's decided to
What's
join
up?
the Ketone Weight Loss Club for a while.
Let's go.
So before we get into this, since I've been showing everybody my ketone strips the last few mornings, I'm going to show you the box, the ketone strip box. This is the one. All right. So they're not that expensive. Yeah. Don't worry about buying the blood testing meter. All right. You don't need it. If you're rich, you could buy the blood testing meter if you want. So there's three types of ketones, right? There's beta hydroxybutyrate, acetone, acetoacetate. So the meter will definitely check for beta hydroxybutyrate, but it doesn't matter. As long as these are showing dark purple in the top three all the time, you're good. Maybe they'll drop the odd time, but you just recognize that. A lot of times that'll be from if you're really fat and you were storing a little bit of water in your fat cells, and then when you dump, it'll actually make them fade. So rather than how carbs will make you like gain weight, if this one gets lighter, actually you'll show a weight drop on the scale. Like the fat people will actually be dropping weight like crazy. I'll always ask them, "Oh, my ketones went lighter." So right away I'll ask them if the scale dropped, because then I'll know that the urine got diluted, right? So here I'll check one, and this is the lightest mine ever get in the morning. And I played around with some more trace carbs last night too. So yeah, I'm right on the money today. Like right on the bottom end. So this is last night I definitely had probably 50-gram trace carbs for sure. But I'm still pissing ketones like crazy. Okay, so we'll get into that. We're gonna talk about the macros and talk about what Jordan's doing. So Jordan's about the same size as me, right? Like we're pretty close. Your hair taller.
hmm
Um, so my macros right now when I'm cutting, basically I hold the protein right around 100 grams, maybe 110. All right. If I'm cutting really quick, maybe 120. And that also means I got to bump the total calories up, right? Because you don't just bump the protein, you got to bump the total calories. So at 100 grams, I make sure I'm hitting a minimum of 2,000 calories. All right. And you get that from the ratio 20/80. Okay. Because 100 grams of protein would be exactly 20% of 2,000 cal. So if I go over 2,000 cal, it makes the protein a less percentage. So if you're 18%, 17% protein due to from the total calories, it's fine. Okay. With this diet, it's different. Okay. Especially when you're starting, you want to make sure you're not under eating. So don't go taking the calorie count that you're used to on carbs and worry about it. All right. Just make sure the protein's down in your hip. Just chase the ratio and chase the strips. That's all you need to do. If you're chasing these strips, you're going to be dropping weight. You're going to be dropping body fat for sure when these strips get into color. So, like, I always want to be careful. Like, women are bad for this. I hear it. Oh, I tried that and they had like high cortisol, blah, 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 blah. It's because every time they undereat.
mm
Every time. And specifically when they get lean, not a fat woman that's like 300 pounds or something. When they start getting lean, they still have no hunger. And they don't recognize it because they get fanatical about the scale. And all they had to do was eat more. That's it. The only problem you're ever going to run into, because this is a crazy hardcore weight loss protocol, it's like, what kind of, that's it's like the only diet that has that problem where you could lose weight too quick because you're not hungry, right? You need to just eat more. So even with you, Jordan, even with you, like right now, if you're rolling into this, just make sure
hmm
you keep your protein count where it's at. So what are you at about right now?
100, 105 grams.
Perfect. And you know what's funny? You get that in front of you, like the meat that you're eating, you actually get that in front of you. You're like, really? I don't need more than this on the day. It's a ton. Because that was like 2 cans of spam, and then you had like some whey protein or something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I had
Yeah, so
yeah, that and a salad I think is all I ate that night. And dog, I couldn't believe how full I was,
it's
into
a
the next
lot,
day.
man. It's not like
It's
with the carbs where you'd eat 2,000 and you're like, oh, that was like basically, you like didn't release after sex or something. Like it's like you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
literally, it's so like, yeah. There's no finish. Like it's not like you're not done. It's not hitting the spot. I've
Oh,
told the
hundred
story of
percent
Yeah, I've told that story of my buddy in like grade 3 or 4 had this hat that said "spam hits the spot," and it does. you know,
But it does absolutely. Like I could have easily last night. I could have easily not ate just from the spam the night before.
See,
You know.
exactly. So that's where the super fat people ends up making them want to fast, which is okay. Just make sure when you're fasting long periods of time, you crank that snake juice through the roof. Anytime you
Mm,
see fast weight loss, you need to be cranking the snake juice through the roof. Now, your total calories, so you're at about 105 gram of protein. And man, if you have
mm,
a day where you're at 90 or 110, but you just want to make sure the calories are above the threshold. So you use that factor of 20s the way I kind of told you the quick way to do it. You just go the protein times 20, and that's your minimum calories you got to hit to make sure you stay in
word.
the parameters of the ratios, right?
Yeah,
So
hundred
so what
percent.
so what were your calories on 105 gram of protein that last meal?
105 gram. I think my calories ended up being about 2,500 calories.
Perfect. So if you
Yeah,
do the
just
math on 105 grams of protein, that's going to put you at 2,100 calories minimum because you go 105 times 20. Or you do
word
it the
right.
or you do it the long way where you go 105 grams of protein times 4 calories per gram is 420 calories. And if you take that divide by zero point 0.2, that'll give you 2,100. So you got to be over that. So what I'm telling people, especially, just don't worry about yanking the food back, even if you're not hungry. Watch that scale. If it's dropping
Mm,
like a rock, water or not, water weight or not, okay, don't make assumptions. Okay, you think you're not losing fat on this, you are. So weight is weight. So what reason I'm saying that, if you see the weight slamming down, even don't just assume water, assume you're losing weight quick and you want to just make sure the scale's not dropping too quick. So just eat more in the
mm,
parameters of those ratios. Like you're gonna have probably a good drop, but like the hunger is the whole thing. That's why the diet works so good. The hunger just goes away, and that's once you get leaner long term, because I get questions about, okay, adherence long term. That's the thing. You bump the food up, and then you could play with maybe if you're lean, so you could play
mm,
with around with some carb cycling. You could ride the wave on those. You could ride the wave on those trace carbs a little closer. You could play around with, okay, maybe let's try 60, 70 grams of trace carbs the odd day. Let's
mm,
try wolfing down maybe some peanut butter the odd day. You're lean at this point, right? You fat
yeah.
pigs don't need to be touching nut butters. But you know what I mean? So it makes it very adherable. Very
Yeah.
adherable, because you can have 5 days a week where you're going really like super strict, where there's like the carbs are at a minimum and you're at your protein ratios being less than 20%. And then
Mm,
you could have like a dinner out where it's like, shit, I'll fast all day and have a freaking medium pizza for dinner, whatever. It's not going to matter, because the beauty of this is now, because you kept yourself in ketosis so long, you're actually going to be metabolically flexible, and you'll be able to, that switch will flip easier when you
mm.
dump the liver glycogen. If you eat carbs, you dump it and bang, you're like right into ketosis again. It's not like your body's grinding to try to get over there because you're not adapted to using fat for fuel primarily.
Absolutely, 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 bro. I
So
can't
like,
wait to fucking switch over, dog. Damn.
exactly. So yeah, you've been what? You hit your first meal. What was that? 2 days or last night?
I guess technically last night was my second meal. It's been
What'd you
like
have last night?
36. Last night I had 2 packs of sausages and like a pack and a half of sausages, a protein shake, and then more salad and some olive
Okay.
oil.
Yeah, so that salad's the perfect way to like feed that olive oil, right? Like olive oil is like my best friend out of all the oils. Like it
Yeah.
really
Oh,
is. Because, and coconut oil you can throw on shit and stuff, but olive oil, I'll just drench shit in it. right? And before I
Word.
forget, so subscribe to Just Jordan on YouTube because he
Hey.
is going to be doing this and showing his food. Okay, he's going to be showing the food. He's going to be telling you the calories and the macros and the protein. Okay, most of you guys, if you're following exactly what he's doing on this, as long as he's not fucking it up, is if you're following exactly what he's doing on this, you're gonna have like a diet that's gonna get you there.
Yep.
All right. It doesn't matter if you weigh. It doesn't matter if you're 250 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds. If you copied what he's doing. And this
Yep.
is the thing. It's not the fucking carnivore diet where you can't have olive oil. Okay. Like even tell them about what you've been learning about olive oil.
Oh yeah, especially when it comes down to longevity stuff, it's like olive oil is included in all of the world's top diets, no matter what the diet is, which is funny because carnivore it's not included into. But when we're talking about especially longevity,
Yeah.
it's olive oil is in every single type of diet except for carnivore, which is funny enough. It's
Yeah.
also incredibly anti-inflammatory. It has incredible pain relieving effects. That it the it and especially if you're buying higher quality olive oil, the polyphenol count, so just the kind of like the antioxidant count kind of thing, is so high in these fucking premium olive oils too. It's just unreal for your body. Your body
Yeah.
loves it. Your body loves it.
So yeah. So that's why, like, when I'm fattening foods up, right? Like I know a lot of people will use some butter and stuff, but if I'm eating a meat that's too lean on this and it's not meeting the 20/80 macro split, I'll just I'll drink olive oil right out of the bottle to get it up there, and I'll drench the food in olive oil. I'm always over. So anybody that's watching this, like 20% protein at the maximum, 80% fat, trace carbs at minimum, 20% protein maximum. I'm way under that. Way under. Okay, when I'm eating 100 gram of protein, like last night, shit, I was at like 2,700 cal, and my weight was down again yesterday. And
Woo!
right now I'm eating one meal a day. One meal a day, literally, it's like impossible to not lose weight on it. It's like you can't even eat enough to maintain in a meal, and you'll know right away because if you're force feeding on your one meal, it's like eating. So you feel satiation, and then
Yep.
you got to like eat past that, and that satiation comes up fast. It's not like with the carbs, like when you're doing your one meal a day on the carbs. The satiation comes up very quick on you when you're eating that meal. And then if to eat past that, you're like, you're like fucking done,
Oh,
and that amount of food, it's almost like the perfect ratios. It's like literally you can't eat enough in one meal unless you force fed to hold weight onto your body. You literally have to eat at a higher frequency. You have to eat like at a 2 meal a day or a 3 meal a day just to get more calories in to fucking
mm,
gain weight on it. So people that want to try to build muscle on this, it's called the 20/80 weight loss diet. So it's probably not the best diet to try to put on weight since it's called the weight loss diet, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing the 20/80 weight loss diet and I'm trying to gain fucking 10 pounds. Like, have fun.
it's like, bruh,
Yeah,
because
like you're
honestly,
fucking eating so much, you fucking feel like you're gonna puke. So if you are doing it, you just make sure you're eating. You're never hungry. Like you're eating like always weight fat satiation. Like you're never hungry. You have no
mhm,
moment in the day where you're hungry. Where with the
mhm.
carbs, even on a bulk, I still would feel hungry in parts of the day, even at a massive surplus.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that's the biggest thing so far. Even though I'm not spewing out ketones yet, it's just that's the number one thing I've gotten so far is cognitive focus and fucking satiation.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to make sure that because you get in the old and you like the fucking food volume matters. So what you would do if you're dropping weight too quick, like if you feel like you need more, the first thing you adjust is that protein, leave it be, and then just crank the fat up. More
Mm.
fat. Don't be trust me, man. Me and you're about the same size. Like I've lost weight on this on 3 grand, man. 3 grand on low protein. Like I
Sheesh.
was telling you, there hasn't been no good literature on this, like none, where if you're in that, if you're in these proper ratios, when you compare a ketosis diet where you're like just burning crazy amounts of ketones versus, say, just a zero carb, high protein diet, like a
Mm.
carnivore diet, which is just essentially produces the same blood sugars as a standard American diet, or like an actual diet where you're not even trying to worry about the carbs, the calories. If I even had a guy on here the other day, he was holding weight on 2200, and then he jumped on this and he started losing weight on 2500.
Oof.
And I've had the same thing happen back in the day. I would maintain I was maintaining about 172 at about 3,000 calories on carbs, one meal a day. And then I started doing that the bacon one meal a day diet that I was doing. And I literally was started to lose weight on over 3,000. I had to eat like
Mm.
3,500 plus to like hold on to the weight on straight bacon.
Oof.
Yeah, like, and that was like the time frame between those two diets was like, I cut one and started the other one, so my body wasn't any different. Like I was the same age, same amount of muscle, same everything, right?
Hmm.
And like
Hmm.
I've mentioned on here that one of my mentors, Kevin Weiss, when he was competing in natural bodybuilding, he would strip on this all the time. Like he would be just doing his regular shit on his bulk on his building phase, and then all he would do, he even told me, he's like, fuck, I wouldn't even count calories on that diet. He's the guy, like real macros, 20/80 or
Mm.
under 20% of the protein. He's like, all I would do is just start the diet. And I would just eat till I was done. And the fucking weight would just fall off him. And he'd end up getting on stage at 170. And he's still, and everybody else, everyone's lean, basically. If they hit if they're on point, they're all lean. But he'd be the only guy that could still get a hard on, right? Everybody else had fucking erectile dysfunction.
But
It's
that's
not like the
real.
guys are on a shitload of gear. It's not like the guys that are on a bunch of tests that can cut on anything and fucking still get a boner. Okay? Like people were bitching how they couldn't have sex with their old lady and shit. And he's like, send her over to my place. Like,
Savage.
yeah, like, so it's like, it's just because your fats stay high, right? You don't, because everybody ends up usually yanking the fats down to nothing when they're trying to get
Mhm.
really lean. But the protein, it's like, it's funny. We just get oversold on protein supplements, protein this, protein that. Like, fuck. I was running low protein on carb diets and not even low in comparison to people, right? 100 grams was a ton because they try to say, like, they're at 1 gram per pound of lean body weight, which is way up there, man.
Mhm.
Unless you're like a fucking juiced up bodybuilder doing a crazy amount of volume in the gym, like tearing your muscles to smithereens every day. Like
Mhm.
it's not, and if you're training like that as a natural, I don't believe you're actually gonna get the best results anyway. You need to train heavy with lots of rest time. And
Mm.
that's what naturals will get the best results with. Lots of rest, heavy ass weights.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so the recovery is really high. And like it's funny that you could literally go to like, a half a gram per pound of lean body weight, man.
Word. And I guess that's essentially exactly what I'm at right now.
Yeah, right, close. Well, lean body weight for you, like
Oh,
lean for you would be what, like probably 170,
yeah.
175.
Yeah, I think so. Right in there.
That'd be pretty lean. And then you go point 0.5 of that, you're still at
Yeah,
like
so with
freaking,
eighty, not.
you're a little light there. But that,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you rip those probably actually lighter than that. Like
Yeah.
even point 0.5 of 160 is 80, but like point 0.5 is low, obviously. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but 0.82 people think is low, and that's good. But that's high. Like you don't need that much because you're so protein sparing when you're making this many ketones. So
Mm.
people don't even need to worry about that. Just hit a number that you know is good. And like I think 100 grams for most guys, right in there. And if they're a really fat guy, even if they're 6'4", like your diet that you're doing right now, even if the guy's 6'4" and he's a fat guy, like start there. It's a starting point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Then
it's and we
adjust.
don't we don't need to debate about the protein. You just make sure you're hitting your macros. So if you feel like if you're dropping weight too quick and you feel like you need more food, you bump them both up.
Mm.
You never bump the protein first. If you're gonna bump something, leave the protein the same and add more fat. Give your body more
Word.
fat, right? Like if you just drank straight oil, man, with no protein, like I'd love to see a fucking study where they give somebody straight oil, calories equated to compared to any diet, and the guy drinking straight oil is gonna lose body fat like fucking crazy. It's like a fast, basically.
Word.
You just don't stash it because insulin does matter, especially if it's very low all the time. You just won't stash that oil. Your body will convert it into fucking water and you'll piss it out. I just, but regardless, if you're losing weight, people don't need to get too scientific. But as long
Word.
as you're losing weight, if you're losing weight at a good clip, just be ready to maybe make a bump. And if you have to make a bump to the point where that one meal a day you're doing is just too much, it won't be for you because you want to cut. You want to cut. So
Yeah.
you're good. You're laughing. But if it's a woman and it's a fat woman and you might be doing a meal a day and you're starting to get slim and you look at your meal and you're like, geez, I'm only eating 50 grams of protein today at like 1,000 or 1,100 cal, and listen to your body. It's like maybe you're feeling like shit. Like eat more, just
Mm,
eat more. I see so many women that back in the day before the carnivore diet and all these fucking diets fucked this up and watered this down and destroyed this like perfect protocol. I've seen people that would fuck it up, and it was always because if the macros are right, they were low on electrolytes because you dump
mm,
electrolytes like crazy, and they just didn't eat enough. They just kept grinding on too low of food because they had no hunger. So they felt like, well, I'm not hungry though. Well, if you want to stick to these ratios and you're not hungry, but you feel like shit and you're fucking lean, eat more. It's so
mm.
simple.
Boom. Boom. Because I don't. I there's so many benefits about this already, and even just looking into what I started diving into some of this stuff about higher ketone levels. We were talking about it real quick about the mitochondria. That was the thing that was blowing my mind, and how your mitochondria really has to make that switch over to
Yeah,
using and but
ketones.
but your body becomes so much more efficient at it, and that switching eventually, I mean, and we're talking down the low, which what you were saying is, and adding little bits of carbs, and how that's beneficial even later on, so that you
Yeah.
don't become glucose intolerant,
Oh yeah. So like once you're lean, you can do all sorts of crazy shit. Like I would do this like all like 90% of the time, and then I'd play around with maybe having like some starch slopped with oil. And as long as
Mm,
it's not a bunch of fructose, it like nicely almost goes through your liver and you just store it as straight fucking glycogen. And the funny part
word.
is, yeah, and the funny part is when you're at lower heart rates, the body will roast straight fat and it'll only touch that glycogen if you like amped up. And
Word.
the other thing that people don't get is like gluconeogenesis happens through lactic acid. So when you go to hit the gym hard, you might show if you're checking your blood sugars, they'll be elevated briefly, very brief. Your ketones will probably show the same on the strip because your urine won't change too much, but you won't kick yourself out. But the sugars will go up slightly, and then and then they'll come back down because of the lactic acid. So that's
Mm,
one path of gluconeogenesis. The other one, obviously, is fucking just too much fucking protein, which people just don't fucking get that. Like it's not demand. I hear in the fucking carnivore community, like fucking like a bunch of fucking. They're always talking about demand driven. Like gluconeogenesis isn't demand driven. You need a pile of protein, and you're sitting on your ass. The protein is gonna fucking excess protein will turn into fucking sugar. I've done the blood tests. So it's not demand driven. It's supply driven when you just eat too much protein. And at the end of the day, there's no arguing because if you're not on the ketone weight loss club, you're fucking it up with too much protein.
fact.
Ketones. That's why I love these fucking ketone strips because if they show me a colored strip, I'm like, okay, he's getting something right. First thing I'll ask for is the strip. Everything, because some people try to get in a fucking argument with me about, oh, I'm doing this and that. I'm like, where's your fucking strip? Like, because they'll fucking beat around the bush. Because you know damn well, oh, they're not losing. First they'll say I'm not losing weight. Well, where's your fucking strip? And then I know if they don't show me color on the strip, I'm like, well, that's why. So now what are you fucking up with the macros?
Word.
You know, like it's so easy to troubleshoot it. When the fucking strips aren't showing color, I can troubleshoot it in 2 seconds, right?
Word.
Like people
How
are
did
so
you
full of shit. It's like the scale never lies and the strips never lie. Like you're so full of shit. You can't produce one of these strips.
how did you when you first started, did you fast into it or did you just eat
So when
high
I
fat?
very first, oh, this time around,
Yeah, this time around.
I actually ate into it. This time around, it was just I actually ended up doing OMAD one night, and I just had a taste for like just some greasy sausages, and I felt I was gonna start that cut. So I'm like, well, fuck, if I'm gonna eat greasy sausages, I might as well just eat them straight up and not with any potatoes or anything, right? And then I'm like, oh shit. And obviously the next day scale dropped like a motherfucker. I'm like, well, fuck, guess I'm fucking starting the good old fucking ketosis diet again. And then I'm like,
Hmm.
well, shit, I might as well fucking start fucking getting these fat pigs doing it again because I know they're fucking up the carbs. And I can hold it because I'm done with the carbs especially if you're lean, you can play. If you're lean, so I'm telling you how to do it. So then it doesn't end up being daunting because if this diet is fucking strict. So, but strict is okay if you
Yep.
know when you get down there in body weight, you can definitely cycle and fuck around with it. There's no food dogma. It's not like telling somebody to eat fucking ribeye steak and tomahawks the rest of your life. That's fucking retarded to yield mediocre blood sugars.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, like I
Mm-hmm.
tell people, I'm like, your blood sugar's eating tomahawks and ribeyes, like large amounts of that meat with that much protein yields no better blood sugars than eating fucking chicken or rice. It doesn't. It doesn't. I guarantee your blood sugars were fucking quite like just as good average blood sugars on your when you're doing OMAD on carbs. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously this is gonna bring them way down. And
Absolutely.
and truth be told, the diet that yields the lowest blood sugars is gonna give you the like obviously the calories are gonna matter, but in general, blood sugars being the lowest is gonna make you least hungry and you're gonna lose the most weight. Not to mention the phenomenon that I believe is there with being fully on a fat metabolism versus carbs, like with the calories being different. Like you gotta compare diet to diet in that sense. That's like the only time you do that. Like
Mm.
they really need when you get that protein low, man, and it's like straight oil on the other end. Something special happens with that diet. Like you
Word.
can't keep weight on, man. Even if the calories are high, like you just can't.
Yeah, I even remember back in the day when you were fucking remember you were fucking riding that hill up and down, and I remember you were fucking roasting the calories. Your calorie count was fucking through the roof back then too. Still with the keto.
Oh yeah, I was like eating like, oh yeah, I could eat. It'll be like even now once I get down to maintenance, I'm gonna be smashing back like I'm guessing like somewhere around to stay really lean. If I depends how lean I want to stay, but like I said, as long as the protein's low, I'll have days where I'm way over 3,000 cal and I'll be holding weight.
Whew.
Especially if I'm doing a lot of swimming and shit. Like, and I'm not a big guy. You know,
Word, word,
like
hundred
it's just, and
percent.
then especially if you're playing and you end up, you know, like you know what I'll do sometimes when I'm lean on a diet like this. If I feel like I'm if I feel like I need a little more food, that's when I'll
Mhm.
smack back like some peanut butter. Like you can literally
Oh,
because there's a little bit of carb in it, but I'll almost fat load. So that's I didn't finish. So gluconeogenesis can happen from fat intake as well. But that's the hardest pathway. So that's where obviously that's what keeps sugar in your blood when you're doing this diet, right? Because the main like when you're fasting, there's no carbs going into your body, no protein. Where do you think the glucose is coming from? Coming from your body fat getting turned into fucking sugar that little bit to keep you alive. So we're like
mm,
simulating that. But that's a difficult pathway. Okay? So that's why it's very interesting. I know and like there's no hormone that puts the brakes on the fat burn like there is when you're like say when you eat some carbs, insulin goes up, and now your fat burn somewhat gets the brakes put on it. Where when you're
Mm.
eating like this, it's almost like you're always just dumping fat. Even if you're just sitting there, it's like your body just keeps letting go of ketones. It's like your body's almost like throwing away energy when you're pissing ketones. So technically, not to mention you're pissing water when ketones are turning into like water, burning them, but you're pissing ketones. So essentially, you're pissing out energy. You're not doing
Damn.
that on carbs.
Mm.
So that's
Hmm.
I think that's where the extra food would be going it comes to calories in, calories out. Like you're literally pissing out energy. You could say that your body is wasting energy in a sense, but it's wasting it in a good way because you're just urinating out energy and burning body fat because you're not. That's the difference.
See, and when are you uh, ideally checking your ketone strips?
I check them. I gotta get another bottle here, but I check them
You're doing them all day, eh?
all the time, sort of just to see what does what. But right now,
Mm.
lately, I've been doing it in the morning because of these videos, and then I'll usually check it after my meal. I'll eat the
Oh,
meal, and then I'll check it like a couple hours later because that usually will matter. If you fuck up your protein really bad, that later ketone, assuming you're not dehydrated, you might see it lighten up, and it should be like that'll be my darkest. Like
word.
after a
Oh,
little bit, yeah. Like sometimes I'll get one that's probably on the third one down, maybe when I'm fasted all day, swam on no food, and then I get home and this is like, 23 hours fasted. Then sometimes, because then I'm just not spooling up as many. And then I'll eat and bang, it's like the darkest color, like 2 hours after I eat. Assuming
oh,
you don't fuck shit up and you're just guzzling fat, right?
yeah, yeah. I see, I see. Damn. All right, all
Those,
right.
those sausages you ate last night, what were those? What were the macros on those? We could talk about some of these meat sources.
Um, what ended
What
up?
water are
What
you
did it?
drinking, buddy?
Oh, bro. Ah! My
Montpellier.
man,
These are made in good old Canada.
oh man, they're the
I've seen them, the
cheapest.
Perriers. There's the good ones.
Oh yeah, man. And the mineral count is nice
Yeah,
on
these
this
are
one.
good, man. I was drinking these when they came out brand new. Because this is when
Ooh.
I was drinking these because these weren't out. I don't believe they were out in 2016 when I started. Because people forget I was doing like hardcore ketosis dieting, like low protein, like 100 grams, like 2016, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
This is what I was doing, and then it just led into fasting, and then fasting sort of took over everybody's attention, and then a proper low protein ketogenic diet got just diluted with bullshit
Mm,
because now people are like, well, I can eat whatever I want because I can just fast. And then now it becomes an eat whatever you want and just fast kind of movement. And
yeah.
then fucking meat only comes along, but that's nowhere near the fucking macros of a fucking true ketogenic diet. So and then people just started calling that keto. Okay. And
Hmm.
before that, people were already fucking keto up by just saying keto just because it was low carb. It had nowhere near keto fucking macros. Just like what I've been telling people if if you can't show a strip in the top three of these colors, keep the word ketosis out your fucking mouth.
Fuck yeah, bro.
So those sausages,
those
those sausages,
sausages, those sausages, they ended up being for the pack of them, they were 1,200 calories, and they were 50 grams of protein.
1,200 cal, 50 gram for all of them. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Snyder's.
So then I ate 2 packs.
Were those Snyder's?
Um, no, I think they were Johnsonville.
Because the Johnsonville's, you sure? Because the Johnsonville's might be less than 50 grams.
Oh, because I think they ended up being 51 for
So the
1,200.
Snyder's, I had 2 packs of Snyder's last night.
Oh shit.
So the Snyder's that I had were 9 grams of protein and 5 sausages in the pack. So that's 45 gram of protein each pack, which was 90. And then
Mm,
the reason I was worried that I might have so those are claiming 5 gram of carb per sausage. So that technically would be 50 gram of carb. But I
Mm,
know though, see, this is where you gotta fucking feel it. I know that when I eat those, there's no fucking way. But now I was at 90 grams of protein. So I had some Greek yogurt and I basically made up the protein, made up another 10 grams from that. And there is some carb in that. It was unflavored, but I was so juiced up on fat. That was kind of my little experiment last night. I only fuck around with those experiments when the scales took a big drop.
mm.
Just in case I buck myself out a little bit, I don't want to do that. So I only do that when the scale takes a big drop, and I was down like 2 pounds last night.
Damn.
So what I did is I hit the numbers, and then obviously the sausages are fattened up with olive oil. Uh, I threw some organic mayonnaise on there. I finished off this little bit of spinach I had. I had pickles are golden, right? Like I always have
Mm,
pickles. And then that bit of yogurt. And that yogurt would have been maybe like 5 gram of carb. And anyway, so obviously it didn't fucking swing me out as far as I could see on the strips. If it did swing me out, it's like bang bang. It's like bang bang, right? Because it's like
mm.
okay, I give it a little too much carb, and that's the thing because I'm fucking adapted as hell.
Yeah.
So it's like I might have kicked myself out for like 3 fucking hours, and then through the night you just roll back in, right? And then you get up and you're fucking still showing ketones, even with the dawn effect, because the dawn effect will fuck with your blood sugars. Because in the morning, if people don't know the dawn effect, your blood sugar increases when you get up, like when you start to warm up right before you wake up. So that'll actually be a time of the day where you actually have a blood sugar that's slightly elevated just for a little bit.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
know that actually.
yeah. So keep that in mind. Like that's why in the morning usually. Now, if I eat like straight oil and like zero carb and like crazy fat like the night before on like a meal a day, dawn effect or no dawn effect, I'm showing really dark on these when I wake up in the morning because I drenched my blood in so many ketones through the night that you get up and you're just going to be right at the top. So there's these little things, but at the end of the day, the top three should always be showing. If you kick yourself out, unless you're dumping water because you're fat ass, that's like just going through like a staircase cycle, you'll always be up there. Always.
Mm,
Now, if people are checking their blood sugars, it might take a little bit to get the blood sugars to where they're like elite level, low, like 2080 weight loss diet blood sugars would be, you know, honestly, if you're lean, if you're getting lean and you're doing this, you're going to have like a lot of times where you're in the threes or in like the 60s. Okay, when you're still cutting, you know, under 80, all right? And that's where if you want to do a 72-hour fast right off the hop to start this, it's perfect. And then not you already got into it, but if somebody wants to bust off a fast and if
hmm.
they feel, especially if you're type 2 diabetic, perfect. Because then you're not fucking around, just fast until you get ketones showing on these strips, then eat some bacon.
Oof. Let's
So
go.
yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the sausages you had, you said were 50 a pack. They were Johnson or they were
Yeah, I get the little ones, where
yeah,
there's
those
like
are
a bunch.
Johnsonville's.
Yeah, a bunch of those ones.
There's 6 in a pack, and I thought those were 7 grams a pop. So
Because
unless
the
so
ones that
just
I bought, there's like 12 in a pack.
oh okay.
They're like the little tiny motherfuckers.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even like see when you got that much, like, people are like they would. It's funny when you got the food in front of you. It's like, are you serious? Like people are trying to tell me this isn't enough protein. Like it's a
Yeah,
ton, like a
yeah.
hundred grams of protein from like it's just crazy when you actually have it in front of you. It's like, man, I don't need more than this on the day when I'm fueling my body with all this fat and I'm this protein sparing. Because
Oh.
that's the thing when you're on a carb diet, you're still going to be somewhat protein wasting a bit unless the carbs are so damn high that that's the only because technically when you burn protein, it's the same pathway as burning carbs.
Mm.
Right. So that's why if your carbs are down there and you're trying to yank calories on a carb diet, your carb calories get down and all of a sudden you start chewing on that protein you're eating for energy. Where with this, you keep the protein low, so you're always just burning fat, like you're separating those energy systems.
Whew, bruh. So how often are you training?
Me, so every day.
Oh, are you
Right,
still doing
or
that?
only
That
right now because I was so we could talk about that because you're doing a 2 day a week full body.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm telling with now when you like I've been playing around a bit. Like so I was doing like I was talking about doing a I was doing a split where I was doing like something that almost looked like push pull leg day up, but it was actually chest, back, arms, legs, day. Like I was hitting everything twice in about 9 to 10 days,
Right.
and then I changed that to an upper lower split where I was going upper day off, lower day off, upper day off. That might be one that you want to try if you wanted
Oh,
to take
interesting.
if you want it, because what it'll do, especially adapting to this, if it's not a bad thing to maybe bring that volume down on the day adapting, right? It's not like you're all juiced up on a pile of fucking carbs, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like don't kid yourself. Don't you won't ever lose 1 RM strength, but the fucking work capacity on a big ass workout when you're adapting, if you fucking bring the volume down a bit so the volume's a little lower,
yeah.
but
I
you'll
see.
feel, but it's funny. It's a trade off because you'll feel like way better with cardio. Like I won't hit a wall in the swimming pool. I can just go and
Oof.
go and go and go and go, man. You don't because
Damn.
you don't hit that wall. But like for example, like were you there? Like when so I was at that powerlifting meet in 2016. I won the Wilks, the overall, and I
Right,
was
right.
on this diet. Okay, so my 1 RMs were strong, and you got to remember, people always forget it's not the diet; it's you're fucking lean as fucking way lighter.
Yeah.
So like you're on a carb. If you can get this lean on a carb diet, like let's compare lean to lean. You're not gonna be
Mhm.
fucking stronger on that carb diet. Equal leanness.
Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, somebody could say, "Oh, I had more work capacity on carbs." Yeah, well, what was your body weight on the carbs versus this one? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference, right?
Absolutely.
So, like,
Damn.
you got to compare apples to apples, like leanness to leanness. So like, yeah, maybe your work capacity dropped and you're 170 pounds on this. Oh, I had more work capacity on carbs, but yeah, you're 185 pounds.
Mhm.
Let's see what
Mhm.
happens when you yank those carbs down to the point where you can get to 170. Then let's see what your work capacity looks like. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? No one
Word.
ever fucking talk like that's like when you're anti-ketosis, that kind of talk. Like
Absolutely.
carbs always have a place, but when people get dogmatic and they use those arguments and they're not comparing the main thing, like what's your fucking body fat percentage? Like don't
Yeah.
compare your work capacity at 185 pounds to 170 pounds and blame it on the fucking diet when you're a fucking fat ass on the carbs.
Facts,
Fuck.
bro. Facts.
But yeah,
Facts.
like 1 rep max strength, you're like in lower volume context, you're fucking strong as hell. Like I
Mm.
like I pulled the 500-pound deadlift at 168 pounds on strict keto, and I've done that fasted.
Oof.
You know what
Jesus
I mean? Like
Christ.
you know what I mean? Like it's the context of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying, if you wanted to that upper lower split, it's kind of nice if you do it. Like obviously there's your upper lower where it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, weekend off type of thing. So a
Okay.
4 day
Yeah.
a week. So it still works out to the same frequency on the muscles as your full body, right?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But I like upper day off, lower day off. You can take 2 days off. Who cares? But you just keep
Word.
going upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower. Because
Oh,
then
I
you just
see.
put a little less volume on the body if you could have like a separate leg day. And one of your leg days might just be like the isolated movements, and then the next leg day is just the big compound that you do, and that's it. So obviously the workouts you wouldn't be in there near as long, right? That's the
Yeah.
difference. Because
I
those are pretty
see.
big workouts you're doing,
Yeah.
on
Two,
that
3 hours.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I could make that switch no problem. It probably even especially helped me get into the ketosis much quicker. How long did it take you? How much time did it take you to get
Man,
into it?
if I do like a bit of sauna like on food, it was less than 48 hours.
Oh damn.
And that was coming off trash. Like Like I was coming off of like the dirtiest fucking one meal a day diet you could possibly be doing. Right? Like man, I tapped 207. I'm about as
Word.
heavy as you are right now, man. And now I'm 199 last night.
What? Damn.
And
And so, how
that's
long have you?
oh well, fuck. Well, how long have I been making the videos?
Oh yeah, fair, bro.
But the thing is, I put the brakes on because I tapped 200 really quick, like from 207. I'm like, oh
Damn.
shit, I better freaking crank this up. And that's when I actually went to like a couple meals a day for a few days.
Oh shit! Just to
Because
get the
I want to
volume
eat,
in.
yeah, just eat a little more without being like too uncomfortable, right? And then I'm like, once I kind of leveled out, and I'm like, okay, so that's one thing, like big ass drops. I don't tolerate that. I don't, I don't get all like horny over, okay, that's a big drop, great. But I'm not like, keep going, like, especially at my weight, after I just did like this fucking building phase. I don't want to be dropping like that. So I put the brakes on that weight loss for a few days. Okay, so if people are out there, like if you want to slow cut and build, you can build on this still. You can build. You just got to be smart and not be cutting at 100 miles an hour.
Damn word.
That's very
Patience is
important,
always the
man.
thing,
Because
for
I know
sure.
I know, like I'm a big eater. Like most guys, shit, man. They're gonna be like I've seen it. They're like, shit, I'm only eating like fucking 1,600, and they're not hungry. Like, and they wouldn't be. You get that
Yeah.
if you're eating one meal a day and you end up getting held off till 8 o'clock at night. That's 1,600 calorie meal with these macros. Like you're gonna be fucking done. Like I'm done at 1,600. I eat
Oh
the
yeah.
rest, but I can easily stop eating at 1,600.
Oh, easy, bro. Easy. The first night trying to get that second can of spam down, bro. I was like, oh shit.
It's like make spam great again.
Spam stock's about to go up, bro.
Oh man, last time I pumped the spam and pickles because I've tried to kiss this diet a few times in the last couple years, eh?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to do it without getting the word keto out of it because the word keto has been destroyed.
Hmm.
So I'm very adamant when I say ketosis a lot. Ketosis. Keto's just loose. Ketosis is still destroyed. But
Yeah,
anytime I mention keto, I'm like ketogenic ketosis, not just fucking keto. Keto just
yeah.
and that's why I use the 2080 weight loss diet as the name. Because the macros are in the name, like I was telling you, like the macro, like the directions to the diet are the name of the diet.
That's what the value is.
And so you got the directions in the name and you got the result in the name. 2080 weight loss.
Bro,
2080 macros equals weight loss.
bro, it's perfect. But you may. I know we talked about this on the phone the other night, but it's a point to be driven. I think again is the word keto doesn't mean what you need it to mean. It does
Yes,
now just mean low carbohydrate.
that's right.
It doesn't mean no carbohydrate. It doesn't mean trace carbohydrate. It just means lesser than.
Exactly. And you even hear when people talk about keto, they'll use it like plural. They're like whatever keto diet, they're like the keto diets.
Yeah,
XS. It's like, what are you talking about? There's one fucking diet. You're either in ketosis or you're not. There's no keto diets. Okay?
facts, bro.
There's food dogma. There's like the fucking carnivore community. Let me like bust that like the carnivore community. Well, the fucking leaders of the community, not the people. The people are the ones getting fucking the wool pulled over their eyes. But the people leading it are the ones that fucked up that word, right?
Mm,
And they're the ones that are always still using the word keto in their fucking titles on their YouTube videos, and they're
yeah.
nowhere near a ketogenic fucking diet. Nowhere near it, right? And that's the thing. They fucked it up so bad that I finally came up with this idea. And the beauty is the results are so good that it just sells itself. And so I'm getting rid of the food dogma because all these people fucking jumping on a meat only diet. thought they're all like hardcore fucking Rocky, like they're Rocky Balboa. Oh, I'm not eating vegetables. You're a fucking pussy if you're eating vegetables. True, your fucking blood sugars are a joke compared to fucking the 2080 weight loss blood sugars. Like, fuck, I could eat the 2080 weight loss diet with vegetables is way more hardcore than your fucking carny diet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the fucking macros is what matters. It was always about the macros, but you end up attracting very bottom of the barrel dieters when it's like, and I try to when you get that dogma, and then you get, especially when you start alienating foods, like it's that food, it's like you're alienating Jews, man. You know, it's seriously, it's like you can't be. It's like you're fucking. Oh fuck, you eat vegetables, you're a Jew. Fuck. That's what they fucking that's what they fucking are like, man. Like for real.
Oh,
It's like they're
oh my
alienating
God.
people that fucking won't eat fucking salad. Like fuck, you get way better fucking results on 2080 weight loss diet eating fucking some trace carbs than you're on a fucking tomahawk steak diet. Fuck.
Bro, bro. But for real though, but as much as you're fucking around with it, you're spitting facts. You know, you're
Oh
spitting
man,
facts.
shit. It's fucking crazy. Like shit. I got a donation from Bushido Key. Donate me $10. Says, what's the problem of losing weight too quick? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with fast weight loss. There's only a problem when you're so when you're so fucking blinded because your emotions are getting the best because you want the weight to drop and you're not self-aware of if you feel like shit. Okay, you need to recognize if the scale's dropping like a rock, ask yourself, do I still feel good? Ask yourself, am I getting enough snake juice in? Okay, if you don't feel good, eat more. Don't let
Mhm.
the weight drop so fast. Take a little mini break on the weight loss. And you're still going to lose weight because you're probably never going to be able to stop it. It's just slow it down. You just don't want to feel like shit because that's what will cause you to quit the diet. Like, that's the only reason people would quit this is because they straight up undereat. That's the fucking problem. Like, that's what happens. It's fucking crazy.
Bro,
What do we got here?
your comment section's going off, bro.
So, what are you going to have? So, what other meat sources are you going to kind of go to now?
What am I doing? Chicken thighs.
Yeah, you're going to have to fatten those up a lot.
Yeah, chicken thighs with some olive oil, I think is what's on deck for tonight. And I'm pretty, especially for this first week, the big, and then I got fucking like 6 or 8 cans of spam on lock.
So, those thighs, though, you're going to have to really fatten those up, right? So, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I
Yeah,
know
neither do I.
I would call without the bone 100 grams of thigh. I would call that 200 calories.
Okay.
And I would call 100 grams of thigh 25 grams of protein.
Okay.
So let's say you hit all your protein from the thighs. Let's just say you hit it all from the thigh meat. And
Okay.
that put
Cool.
you at 100 grams
Yeah.
of protein. That would be 400 grams of thigh meat. And the total would be 800 calories. So how many calories would you have to add to get to your number you need to hit? You're only at 800 cal from the thigh meat.
1,200.
Yeah, 1,200. See
All
what I'm
from
saying?
olive oil. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta fatten that up hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, so you're
Yeah. I
taking
see.
seriously. You're gonna be oiling the shit out of them, making sure you're licking the oil off the plate. Plus, probably taking maybe 4 or 5 swigs right out of the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you shuttle a ton of oil through some sort of a salad as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Word. Word.
You know, and if you're eating the thighs off the bone, if you want to get them to hold more oil, you maybe cut them up and like just drench them in the bowl or something or whatever. But just
Yeah.
yeah. So that's that there. The chicken's fine. You just gotta oil the
Yeah.
fuck out of it.
If you get the
Even
fat the fuck up.
tuna's even okay. But like a can of tuna is like 100 calories basically. Like, it's got oil in it. Like, you don't want to get tuna that's in the vegetable oil, obviously. If you could get tuna that was in olive oil, it'd be good, but it still doesn't meet the criteria. So one can of tuna is like 30 grams of protein. That means the minimum protein you have to hit to water down that can of tuna with enough oil is 600 calories total.
Whew.
And the can of tuna, let's say it's only a 100-calorie can of tuna, you got to add 500 calories of oil, which isn't that. You put the tuna in a bowl and you just drench it with mayonnaise, like not the cheap shit. You got to get the organic shit. That Chosen brand is the one I buy, I think.
I gotta
But
try
you'd
to
have to
make
put
some.
like 4.5 tablespoons of all of the mayonnaise in that tuna. What I actually
Mm.
do is I use like probably a couple tablespoons of olive oil when I use salmon, because I do still eat salmon and it's lean like canned salmon, and I oil it
Oh,
up with
word.
the olive oil and the mayonnaise, the organic mayonnaise, but it's like literally just like a slurry of oil. And then I have some onions or whatever with it, right? Like you're
Whoa.
running on oil. You're running on
Yeah,
oil. If you feel
yeah.
like you're low on protein, if the protein needs feel like you're like, okay, I feel like I need a little more protein, the oil also goes up. Always. If you feel like you just want to try a little more calories, then just bump the oil up more. You know? Chicken, man, chicken, honestly, thighs, if you're a little more of an advanced 2080 weight loss dieter, like what you're gonna be, thighs, man, are a good meat source because of collagen and shit. But you need
Mm,
to apply a lot of fat. And
perfect.
most people will fuck that part up with the thighs. So you really want to like get the bone out, right? You want to get the bone out of there and whatnot, and like try to, like really get the weight of how
Yeah,
much meat you got on there.
I see what you're saying. Just to
If
get
you
the
counted
ratio
the
correct.
bone, you'd be way under what it would say the thigh meat's worth if you counted the bone, which would actually, I guess, in a sense, I'd put you almost on the good side, because technically you would show an amount of protein. It's actually not the right amount. It would be actually less than you would. You know what? Like for
Yeah.
example, 100 grams of thigh meat is say 25 grams of protein, but 100 grams of thigh with the bone is going to be like 20 grams of protein. So if you actually if you measure it with the bone, you're gonna be way low. If you use the protein number that I'm saying for just the straight meat off the bone.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. The ratio would be way better.
yeah. So another one I'll run off quick. Some people wonder about these numbers. Can of salmon's about 280 calories, 44 grams of protein.
Oh
So
shit.
44 grams of protein, you have to be at minimum 880 calories total to be in the parameters of those 2080 ratio, the 2080 weight loss diet ratio. So you would have to add 500 calories to that can of salmon via oil.
Word. I see.
Okay. But once you get more weight off, man, remember, like I said, long term, man, you can really, like this, you can really play with this. It's about keeping your fat adaptation forever. It's about
Word.
keeping that metabolic flexibility forever. You know,
Fuck yeah, bro.
yeah, because then you can play. Then you can have a fucking blowout night, and then you jump back on it for whatever 5 days, and then maybe you go, maybe you just go low carb. Maybe one night you're like, hey, I'm gonna have some peas and carrots tonight, slopped with oil. Shit, some
Mm,
people might even fucking hold good keto numbers. Even you can get quite high if there's enough fiber there. You know, because this isn't the
mm.
fucking carnivore diet. We're not anti-fiber, idiots.
Word.
Not
Word.
anti fucking cabbage. We're not anti sauerkraut. We're not anti pickle. We're not anti olive oil. We're not anti coconut oil. We're not anti fucking everything, basically, except for fucking steak and fucking egg yolks and butter. It's always butter. They're loading up.
Yeah.
They try to load it up with butter. Like it's so an unappeasing diet. I made a good example there the other day about how do you do a carnivore diet? You just go to McDonald's and you just grab fucking quarter pounder patties that are literally leaner than fuck.
Word.
Those patties are nowhere near 2080 macros. And I see them doing it all the time. They're so unappeasing, actually. They're so unappeasing when they're like you need to oil the shit out of them to get them up to the right numbers.
Word.
Yeah, I think you're looking at about 19 grams of protein in one of those patties, or 18 to 19 grams times 20 gives you need to be at about 380 total calories. and I believe the patty's only like fucking 220.
Oh shit!
So you need to add a
Oh,
lot of oil, like a tablespoon and a half.
oh fuck.
Yeah, like you're not even close. Like maybe if you fucking, if you're in there, like, because I seen one video somebody sent me. He's like, yeah, look how Ken Berry fucking does a carnivore diet at McDonald's, and he's just buying a pile of patties, and like I've done this before, lots, but now but I always have my fucking bottle of olive oil in the fucking, in the console. So every bite of patty you take a swig of olive oil, and then you fucking after you lose, then you'll get some serious blood sugars and lose some fucking weight.
You gotta start one of those channels where it's fucking the eat with me channels, and you just fucking eating the burger patties and swinging the oil, bro.
Just and then you're just showing like ketone strips are just black. It's just like a mukbang, but it's just oil.
Bro.
And another one too. Don't be scared of that. Like the 95-100% dark chocolate.
Oh, oh, that's a cool one to add.
Because man, it's great. Man, there's a good amount of fiber in it. It's like the flavonoids and all that type of shit. Man, the magnesium sky high in it. Like man, the iron. The women. If you're actually getting lean, which you will on this, you have no choice. You'll get lean on this. You get some of that chocolate and shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah, the
interesting.
chocolate's one of my go-tos. I usually have at least 2 pieces in the meal.
Oh, sick. That's an interesting
Like
one.
my calories right now, you understand? Like I'm not, like I'm hitting my protein count, but the calories, I'm always just making sure I'm way over. Like I'm not even worried about actually going high enough on the calories to backslide at all.
Word. Okay.
Like
Okay.
when you had that spam the other night,
Yeah.
like you could have threw organic mayonnaise all over that, and more olive oil, man. Like I'll never
Fuck.
eat the spam just plain. I'll always load it up with that organic mayonnaise.
Damn,
You would
bro.
have been a like frick, like that spam's like 1,000 calorie a can, 42 gram of protein, so you're 84 there, and then your protein drink must have brought you up to like 110.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then your calories are at 25. Like man, you're just getting into this, getting adapted. Don't be scared to get it up like the 28, 27, 30. Fuck. Serious.
All right, bro.
That
Cause
shit,
you're
like just chase this color, the strips, and chase satiation, man.
word. Word.
Trust me, the diet will just get you there. It just fucking gets you there. So
All
don't,
right.
because if you've ever done anything like this in the past, a lot of people just fuck it up because
Word.
they're too caught up in the same calorie numbers as they're used to on the other stuff, and they're too scared of bringing the protein down. They're obviously they're scared of fat and cholesterol and shit, which is fucking crazy, especially in the context when you start getting lean, in the context of low triglycerides. So listen up, people, if you're listening to this, because I've seen some people bring this up. In the context of low triglycerides, under like 70, and high HDL, so something that's up there like over 80, like maybe in the hundreds even. Your your LDL can be through the fucking roof, and you'll be like the healthiest person on the planet, man, in the context of low triglycerides. Now, literally, if you know those numbers good, and you know what you're looking for, you could just show me those numbers, and I could tell you if the person's fucking lean or not, man. Just on those three
Word.
numbers. It's a combination of the three. You don't pick one apart. You don't, because most people fucking go to the doctor. Doctors are like, they'll see numbers and shit their pants with some of the people that are doing this. And these people are like the healthiest people. And they'll only look at, oh, your LDL's through the roof, and you're ripped, and you're fucking ripped, and they're so caught up in like they forget that you're ripped. Like fuck, the chance of you having a heart attack when you're ripped are like zero, unless you're a smoker.
Hmm.
But they don't understand that in the context of low triglycerides, because the ripped guy will have his triglycerides will be rock bottom, and his HDL is going to be fucking good. Like the you don't even have to use the word good and bad cholesterol. It's going to be elevated, and in that context, the LDL being sky high is not even an issue at all. The bad combination, anybody that's ripped is going to have elevated LDL if you're fucking ripped. Okay, but the low triglyceride and the bad numbers is going to be when you got low HDL LDL can be floating wherever. It's probably still going to be high on their chart. It's not going to be, it'll be way higher when you're ripped, actually. But the
Damn.
triglycerides will be way up. That's your classic fat ass. You can see it. Like, you can see it. People get scared. And then obviously, like, your C reactive protein number will be like non-existent because you have like no inflammation.
Mm.
And then everything's gonna be like that's yeah, people don't get that at all. And it's like they're always treating blood panels and not the fucking person in front of them.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like they'll have somebody that's 300 pounds in front of them, like, oh, your blood panels, everything's in the ranges, you're good, you're healthy as a fucking horse, and they're 300 fucking pounds. And then you come in there fucking with a set of abs, and they're trying to critique and say, oh, because the average, the norm is not even close to where healthy would be.
yeah, yeah.
And don't kid yourself, man. Those ranges, they've made those inclusive as fuck.
Facts,
Like if
bro.
they made those ranges exclusive, the range window would be about that wide, and the number, especially for the blood sugars, would be the only good numbers would be at the very bottom of the range. Like the bottom would be the only thing that's acceptable, not
Hmm.
this fucking 3.3 millimoles per liter all the way up to fucking 7, which they've increased that. It used to be 3.3 to like 6. And now they're like, oh, let's be more inclusive to these fat fucking pigs. Let's let the people with 6 to 7 in the fucking club. It's true, man. They just keep
Sheesh.
widening the fucking range. It's like those ranges go hand in hand with just society getting more unhealthy.
Yeah, yeah. Or then everyone would just be dying. You know, well, everyone is dying.
Yeah.
Everyone is dying. That's exactly what it is,
We
bro.
gotta fucking make this fat motherfucker think he's at least got a couple days left.
Word. So that we can sell him some medication at least. You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. We gotta get him. Yeah, man. Like I fucking go out to my old man sometimes because I don't watch any normal TV no more, but he does.
Word.
And we'll be watching like a movie or something. There'll be a fucking commercials, and it's just like non-stop fucking drugs.
Oh
That I've
yeah,
never
bro.
like every week there's like a new fucking drug trying to and blood sugar or A1C is the horny thing now because obviously
Yeah.
everybody and the thing is it's like your A1C should be like at the fucking bottom and like get your A1C down to 7. It's like 7. Fuck, you're dying at 7. Fuck.
Bro. That's the world we live in, though, bro.
Yeah,
That's the
it's my
world we
fucking
live
walk
in,
up.
bro.
Oh, it's unfucking real, man. What people think like they're it's just unbelievable what they think is healthy and what's not. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah.
just ludicrous.
Oh yeah, bro. You be drinking, I be drinking olive oil and people making comments, "Oh, that's disgusting," while they're shoving their face full of cookies, you know? It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. You don't even know what's up. You don't even know what's up anymore.
People care more about they don't even they almost disregard the result now. It's like you can be fucking in perfect like excellent health
Yep.
at an excellent like fucking body fat level and your diet will be unorthodox to the norm and they'll be how is that healthy? Well fucking look, idiot. Like they just don't even just look.
Yeah. Oh
Let's
yeah,
fucking
dog.
look like shit.
Oh yeah, bro.
It's like you got like your fucking skin's perfect. You're like at a low body weight. Fucking muscle mass is still on your body. Like that's people just don't look at the shit that they can see right in the fucking mirror. Like
Hmm.
they need to pretend for a minute that there is no doctors, that there's nobody, and they're just like on an island by themselves, and they got to get their intuition back on how to listen to their fucking body. Okay, like
That's
you
a
think if I
huge
went into
one.
the fucking doctor's office at like sub 10% body fat, and I know that my inflammation's 0, and I have like no chance of atherosclerosis whatsoever. My triglycerides are rock bottom. HDL's elevated. LDL's so high they freak out. You think I'm gonna fucking go on a statin? Like it's
Word.
fucking ludicrous. Like, oh, you need a statin. You're fucking 8% body fat, but you need a fucking statin? Are you fucking crazy?
Bro, it's like almost like they don't know how to treat healthy people, you know?
They
Not that
almost
healthy
healthy people
people.
almost scare them.
Yeah.
Because you go in there and you make them look like idiots because you're actually in shape. It's
Bruh.
true, man. Like, fuck, people, like, you go in there and you're like blatantly the healthiest motherfucker they've seen, like, for months.
Yeah, oh, yeah, months, maybe
And,
even maybe even their entire career. That's how out of shape the world is.
oh, man, you go to the fucking doctor's office and it's like, when I was getting blood tests done just to show some blood things when I was doing that McDonald's kick, I was showing how on OMAD staying lean and watching the calories, I had perfect fucking numbers, right? I'm sitting in
Mhm.
there getting these blood tests done every couple weeks, and like every person in there, you like fuck, you're a fat pig. Like there's like nobody in there, barely anybody that's lean that's in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's the common denominator? Like fuck. And
facts.
that's actually funny. Even when the C word virus hit, I remember I went to the hospital the one night because they were fucking hyping it up so much, and like they're making it sound like ambulances were just bringing people in. The bodies were stacking up, right? So I
Mm.
walked to the hospital, emergency, like U of A hospital, and it was a ghost town. There was nobody in the emergency room because all the whiners that go in there for nothing on the regular day-to-day like day-to-day cycle were gone because their fear was more powerful than their little fucking bullshit that they're whining about, like a fucking headache or a fucking like the littlest stupidest things that people waste the fucking our fucking tax money on.
Yeah. Oh, facts,
It
bro.
was
Fucking
empty in there,
facts.
man. There's a couple guys in
Oh,
hazmat suits. I just come rolling up with my winter jacket on, and they're like, I'm just talking to them, and they're like almost like already like it's like on that movie Outbreak, when they're like, and they were at the door, like wait, like there was nobody coming, man. It was just silent. It was unreal
word.
what really was going on, and people thought that there's ambulances going there like every minute. There's nothing.
Bro, it's actually wild. It's actually wild. But that's why these videos and shit are so valuable, you know? It's like you're just trying to give some motherfuckers some basic instructions. And that's why getting coaching from you and stuff, you know, we started with the fucking 365 OMAD, thinking, and that's another thing too, is people want things so quickly too, you know, on
Yeah.
top of fucking being.
Oh yeah, when they're saying that you're not losing any weight, yet your weight's just climbing down every week. It's like you're losing weight slow enough that you're like almost tricking them. It's like your weight loss is slow enough that it's like camouflaged weight loss. It's like it's like you're almost sneaking in the room. It's like you lost another pound last week, but because it's slow enough, they just don't notice. Like that frog boiling like when the frog's boiling, but it doesn't jump out because it's slow enough.
Word just ends up dying. Facts, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like all of a sudden there's a six pack. Oh, this guy's had a six pack the whole time. Shut the fuck.
Yeah, or you're losing weight at a clip that's like a couple pounds a week or even a pound a week.
Yep,
And
yep.
and it's like they just say, "Oh, he's not losing anything. He's losing nothing until you." And then even at 180, they'll be like, "Oh, you didn't lose anything until you put up a before and after." And it's like you're not even the same guy. Fucking morons. People are fucking idiots, man. Fuck.
but but that just goes to show you, even fucking people don't even give a shit about the result. You know,
Yeah, they
it's
don't. They
like,
don't. Because a lot of times, the more fucking discipline you'll usually you'll beat out haters after a while because they
word,
just got no choice to shut the fuck up. You'll have a couple that'll hang around even when you're lean, but in the start, even when I started my YouTube channel, that's probably when I had the most like percent of hate of all the
word,
comments. But once you start like getting the results, and you look in the comments of these videos I've made this last week, this is back to the fucking old days, man, where the results are insane. Like I got people fucking that especially, man, I'm like fucking have so many people that I'm fucking coming to me from the carnivore diet community. It's fucking unreal that we're stalled and now they're losing weight like crazy because the fucking macros are getting corrected.
whew,
And it's like you can just see and it starts winning over the comment section. So what's gonna happen with you? You watch. Just Jordan, JUSJRDN. Watch his videos. He makes them every fucking day. And he's going to be
Every
doing them on
day.
the 2080 weight loss diet.
Mm-hmm.
So you can watch his shit and just copycat it. Okay, if you're a woman, obviously you're not going to be eating quite as much as him. And then you get down, pick a protein count as a woman. Start at 70 grams of protein, 1,400 calories or more, something like that. If you're losing weight too quick, bump the whole thing up. Maybe go to 75 grams, 1,500 cal or
Mm.
more on the top end. Add more fat. That's all you got to do. Just don't undereat. If you're a woman and you don't want to do one meal a day like Jordan's doing, split it into two. Split it into
Yep.
fucking three for all I care.
Yeah, who
You
cares?
know,
Who
just
gives a
make sure you
shit?
get those fucking strips showing color. And if you're a woman and you're on your cycle, be fucking smart. Okay, be smart. Get in some of that dark chocolate. Keep the iron up. Maybe have a little more red meat mixed in there, but you got to fatten the fuck out of it. You got to hit the numbers. Okay, I really like the cheap sausages are fucking perfect when you're starting because it's like you can't fuck it up. They hit the
Word.
ratios. They hit the ratios, right? Not to mention when we're talking about like trace carbs and shit, when you're eating one meal a day like you, I know a meal a day diet is definitely more ketogenic in nature because you're getting
Yeah.
that long fast in and you're so starved out that you can definitely down the road when you get lean, you can play with some pretty loose macros on that meal a day. As long as you're showing good fucking color on these strips. If you get too fucking aggressive on, going up on the trace carbs, you'll obviously eventually fucking kick yourself out. And what happens when you kick yourself out? So people might wonder, well, so what if I kick myself out? Well, what happens is you start feeling hunger again. You start feeling
Mm.
fucking hungry when you kick yourself out, is what happens. And then if it's a very small kick out, you might not bloat up because you didn't have enough carbs, but you'll notice the next day you have some hunger where normally you don't. And that is where
Word.
you're failing the diet because now you want to eat more fucking food, right?
Because that's the one thing that is still crazy, bro. I'm on day whatever 2, I think actually, um, and like not hungry at all. You
Now you're
know?
gonna catch me. You're gonna because I'm not trying to cut very quick, and you still got some pretty good pounds on you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
gonna fuck you probably because I could already tell because as soon as you said you didn't even feel like eating that next day already.
yeah,
Like that would
bro.
never have happened on the old OMAD routine when you're eating the carbs.
Oh no,
You
there
ain't
was those
missing a
days.
meal on that shit.
No, oh no, fucking every night you're looking forward to that, especially after training, especially after training, you're fucking starving. But now, fuck, dog, I could go days.
That's the magic of this. Like even when I fucked around with like macros that weren't 2080 macros, but just going super low carb. You know
Mm,
what I mean? It was the
yeah,
same as if I was eating the carbs. I was always fucking hungry as fuck if I was doing a meal a day because you're not in fucking ketosis.
yeah,
The best you can do is on OMAD, you might touch ketosis a bit, but you're never ever really running on a fat metabolism because the very meal you're eating is not going to fucking push the fat metabolism. The only
yeah,
fucking reason you're getting into a fat metabolism is from the fucking 24-hour fast. If
yeah.
you're fucking up the macros, that would have even been happening to you on carbs, actually. If you're at a deficit on carbs, by the time you might not have seen them on the strips, but if you would have fought through, like say if you would have did enough cardio where you felt like hungry and then the hunger went away, you could actually, with enough exercise on a deficit on the carbs, you would have been probably almost touching ketosis before your meal.
Word. Damn.
Yeah, so like, and that's how, yeah, like, so it's pretty interesting stuff, but it's like that next level of discipline where that's why the strips just never lie, And if as long as you're fucking getting those strips, so even this is where you're gonna fucking get a ton of people watching your shit because you'll be showing those strips, man, and it just puts you on the next level of dieting. It just puts you on
Let's.
another level of dieting. It's just more discipline than anything else because you're actually chasing a different biomarker,
Mm,
and because of that, I'd mentioned this before that because you have to hit certain macro ratios to get the ketones spooled up. There's no debate, and we take the debate out of how much protein do you need. We take the debate out of a lot of this shit that doesn't fucking, like, it wipes it out. Because if you're
Yeah.
overeating protein, you're fucking up this diet. So you know what I mean? It makes it very structured when you know that you
Word.
got to show ketones on these strips.
Because even another thing that I didn't realize until I was with some homies and we were just talking about protein intake and just, they're kind of out of shape a little bit and how hard it is, the average diet, you're asking for these guys to eat 200 grams of protein a day and shit. And they're like, bruh, I can barely crack 100 grams of protein a day. And
Yeah, and
I,
that's them
I,
eating multiple meals.
yeah, and I didn't, I've been in this dieting realm and
Yeah.
fuck it, I can get my protein up, no problem. You can
Oh
get your
yeah, yeah.
protein up, no problem, but it's like for the average person to reach those levels of protein, they're like, what the fuck?
Ah, it's. I just got a donation here. Uh, Munit donated me $5. Says how many calories slash protein for 200 pound, 210 pound man who's fairly lean. A good starting, like fairly lean, you're 210. Like I'm guessing you got a lot of fat on you, right? Like unless you're really tall. But a good starting point is going to be 210. Exactly what Jordan's doing.
Yep.
Okay, start low first. Okay, go on the low end of that protein. Go 100 grams and then minimum 2,000 cal. Watch what happens for a couple of days. If you're dropping weight like crazy, bump it up to maybe 120 and then 2,400 cal minimum. Okay, just start at 100. Every single male, just start at 100 grams and then 2,000 cal minimum. So if you have 2,200, 2,300, whatever's fine. And if you're losing weight too quick or feel like, okay, I just need more protein, then bump the protein. What I would do is bump the calories from the fat first for a day. And then if you still feel like you need more protein, when the ratios are getting way under 20% protein, then bump the protein up like 10, 20 grams. But make sure you're
Mm.
always hitting the ratios. The strips need to show color. I'll just bang off these real quick here. Girl named Toby donated me $2. Thank you very much. Just Jordan, remember, subscribe to his channel. He's going to be showing you exactly what I'm talking about. All right. And he's basically eating the same diet as I'm eating. Okay. He's at in the low 100-gram protein count. He's over 2,000 calories. And he's going to be telling you the numbers every day. So you just got to just watch it. It's like right there. Okay. The 2080 weight loss diet. It's right on his channel. Hey, Rodrigo. So just Jordan, JUSJRDN. Go subscribe to his channel like right now. As soon as we're done this live. Videos every day. Rodrigo Melgar donated me $5. Says satiating effect is insane with these macros. I feel full with 1.2 1,200 calories to 1,600 calories. Was supposed to eat 2,000. 150 lean mass. He said he's got. Felt like I was force feeding at some point. Exactly. See, this
Mhm.
guy's eating like basically women's calories on a regular diet, and he's still full. Like that's why this is the fucking 2080 weight loss diet, motherfuckers. Weight loss. So if you feel like you're cramming food and you're ripped and you're at those calorie counts, you feel like 2 grand or something is too much on a meal. If you're eating one meal a day, break it up. Because there is value to staying on this diet, even if you're trying to gain weight. Like this is if you can, this is almost the perfect way to lean bulk. But you gotta,
Oh.
because it's so hard to get fat on your bulk. But most people, that's again the ketosis haters have never done a legitimate surplus on this. So that's because it's
Mm.
always people under eating. Under eating is the issue of where you get any negativity, right? So
Yep.
if you want to go in a true build on this, you can eat like it's lean mass. You just got to eat more. You got to make sure the scale is going up like a pound a month. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, which is really good for some people. Because some people eat like pigs and then they just get fat on a building phase. Okay,
Yep.
this you could hang on to this the whole way. You could You can even do some carb cycling. You're trying to build, and then you get yourself so metabolically flexible. You can play. Okay, you can play. You always want to keep your body, like when you're talking about the mitochondria using the fat for fuel and shit. You always want to keep that adaptation. So yeah, there's a good that comment was perfect. And Joe, how do you feel? Like you even said, how do you feel on like about 100, 110 protein, 2,500 cal? Like that's a fucking heavy 1 meal a day diet. Like that's like you don't even want. You almost end up wanting, like you said, you almost end up wanting to fast for 48 hours for crying out loud.
Oh yeah, dog, for sure. I'm so full because I even remember talking to my brother the day after. He was making his dinner. It's like 5, 6 o'clock. So I'm like 23 hours fasted, and I'm like, bro, I can't even think about
Yeah,
food
because
right
you.
now.
And another thing I'll say too, if you ever feel like there's a craving for a carb, those waters that me and Jordan are drinking,
Mm,
that's all I do at night. You eat and you're done, and you get a pile of salt in, and you just drink a pile of fucking water. And you'll never want, like, it's not a carb craving. It's just usually you're just thirsty. You
yeah.
just got to get water in. Vandy donated me $2. Says stay purple, my friends.
Oh, that's
That's
what
what I
that
need for a
meant.
meme. Instead of stay golden, pony boy, it should be stay purple, pony boy. Off the outsiders.
That's fucking actually hilarious, bro.
Stay purple, pony boy. I need that in a meme.
Fuck, bro.
Scott Del Fugo donated me $2. Says piss purple, baby. Day 5, down 9 pounds and feel great.
Fuck
Man, when
yeah.
you get adapted, your body's really flipping. You're gonna be like, it's gonna be like the easiest weight loss you've ever done. And the other beautiful thing about it is you have confidence that when you go like high as fuck on the calories and fat, there's no backslide. Like you're not gonna have
Word.
those fucking swings that you're having. Sometimes your haters would come at you.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Oh
just
yeah.
water, but like I was trying to tell people, water is the beginning of weight gain. Usually a
Mm,
diet, if you stay bloated up for days in a row, like you obviously were doing OMAD, so you dump and you fucking make an adjustment. But if you bloat up if you're getting bloated on a diet, that is the beginning of that exact same diet that's keeping you bloated a lot is going to make you gain fat. Every
mm.
diets that make you cut water, you're going to fucking lose weight. And this diet is the king of cutting water. But even like, how even you drop water when you yank your calories down on the carbs?
Yeah.
So see what I'm saying? The precursor to weight loss is literally water loss. So that's why water matters. Water weight matters because it's usually the beginning of something good or bad. It's
Word. I
very important.
see.
It's very important because people that say it's just water, yeah, you can make an argument that a bunch of it was water at the start. And you lost maybe 2 pounds of fat in 5 days, which is still fucking crazy good.
For
But the
sure.
water loss is the beginning of something fucking insane, especially if the water loss is insane.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen people that were fat that come off a bad diet that are really fat that drop like fucking 30 pounds in like 5 fucking days doing this. That's a really morbid obese people though that yeah, like like it's just crazy. So obviously the diet's taking them in the right direction if they drop just a stupid amount of weight, water or no water. People always
Word.
shit on water weight, but that is the starting point of something you're doing is fucking correct. And people always do that. So like you won't be bouncing like you were before, man. It's gonna be literally if you plateau, you'll sit at the same weight, and then bang,
Word.
there's not gonna be
Let's
like an
fucking
upswing.
let's fucking go.
Okay, we'll wrap this up right away. You have anything else to say?
I don't think so, really. I'll just be posting the 1 meal a day. I show my activity and I show what I eat every day, and I'll be doing it for the full year. I think we got 250 days left. Yeah.
JD donated me $5. Says cocoa butter chunks works wonders. Easy to weigh, shelf stable. Thoughts? As long as it's meeting the macros. Okay, it's gonna be very similar to that dark chocolate. Looked at the fucking sugar intake. Okay, as long as the fucking strips are showing color. And like you say, people that are really fat that are doing some long fasts on snake juice, this is the diet that makes fasting a joke. As George's just saying, he hasn't even got into it barely yet, and he already didn't even want to eat the one night.
Yep.
Like that just does not happen when you're still eating fucking a diet that is. See, I almost fucking said doesn't happen when you're eating carbs. It doesn't happen when you're eating high protein and carbs because the high protein will
Mm-hmm.
still give you hunger because you're fucking producing a fuckload of glucose. Okay, the 20/80 weight loss diet. You got to get the macros right. The color has to be on the strip, so you're not in the fucking club. You're a loser.
I'm not even in the club yet.
Oh, you'll be showing ketones soon too. Well, that's the thing, and it's something you can actually coach people now. Like you could be just giving clinics on this shit, you know.
Word.
Christian Barber donated me $2. Says fat and water don't combine. Whatever he meant by that, maybe he's talking about something when I was talking about the water weight losing and you, yeah. Thanks for the donation.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, bro.
Well, maybe we'll wrap her up, buddy.
All right, bro. This was always fun.
Yeah, man. Do you yeah, so you're still did you make a video today already?
Yeah, they post at like 9 a.m. I usually have them edited by the end of like the night, and then they post automatically in the morning.
So again, Snake, so fucking subscribe to my channel, Snake Diet,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it fucking
bro.
takes subscribers away from me. But get on Jordan's channel. All right, just Jordan. JUSJRDN. There's
Hey,
179 people watching this right now. Every one of you fuckers should be on that fucking channel. Okay, he's gonna be showing you really how this is done. Okay, make sure you get those. Yeah, and he's gonna have the ketone strips. Okay, he's gonna be
yep,
telling you his macros. All right. If you throw questions in his comments, I'm sure you'll answer them as well.
yep.
Okay, I guess that's it, and then we'll wrap her up. Until next time, get that fat in you. Okay, we'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right, peace, bro.